Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 122, and we got some good news, man. The scale's not moving, but the mirror is. And what I mean by that is like what I'm doing is working because I can physically see my body changing, and everything's getting looser. The holes on my weight belt are getting smaller. So probably got to buy another weight belt sometime soon. So sooner than I thought I would have to, but it's okay. One thing with this episode that I wanted to talk about, man, is never be afraid to express what you think. You know what it is. And I was talking to a really good friend of mine, and we was talking about relationships, this and that, and I had used the term pumped and dumped. You know what I mean? Because it's like a lot of these girls get, you know, they get pumped and they get dumped. I mean, all guys too. You know what I mean? And she took offense to that because, well, she said that's offensive. I'm like, and then she called me, misogynistic. I'm like, it's not misogynistic if you constantly going after the same type of individuals and you're constantly getting the same type of results. It's like that's not misogynistic. That's a pattern. That's a behavior pattern. You know what I mean? So, and I think a lot of people will feel a certain way about certain things, and they will use words that they don't really even know what it means. And me, I look up words just for fun. I knew what the word misogynist meant. Misogynist meant, hatred or dislike towards women. And that wasn't the case. Just because you have a difference of opinion on how somebody else moves or whatever it is. And I'm talking about the girls who have 4, 5, 6 kids, by like 2 or 3 different dudes or one dude, and they all say that oh, they ain't shit, this and this and that. I'm like, how can all these guys not be shit? They were good enough to get next to you in the bed. They were good enough to get you out your clothes. Good enough to hit raw. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't sit there and say that men ain't shit or this and this and that. It's like, nah, it's your decision making is trash. And call me misogynistic, call me whatever you want to call me, but it's the truth, man. It's like I don't hate women. I don't dislike women. Matter of fact, I love women, bro. But the one thing I hate is when people don't take accountability for their actions. That's the difference. And that's where a lot of people falter, man. They falter because of that. Like I'm like, yeah, like what do you expect? It's like you can't expect somebody to respect you if you out there not even respecting yourself. And this goes for all the promiscuous girls and everything like that too. It's like these are the same chicks who hop in our DMs, who give us their phone numbers to call, who be texting us all kinds of wild shit, right? But as soon as they get attached, as soon as we switch up, as soon as we start treating them, how they presented themselves to us, it's an issue. And I look at that and I'm like, yo, if you want better, do better. Don't expect someone to respect you simply because you want different. And a lot of the times when that shit happens, it's way too late. It's way too late to sit there and complain. It's way too late to do everything else because it's like you made your bed and boom, like this is the stuff you gotta lay in, man. It's like I'm not saying that promiscuous women don't deserve respect. I'm not saying single moms don't deserve respect because they do. But when you entertain certain individuals or when you come with a certain type of energy to a situation and you don't know how to maintain that, or with everything with you is about one particular topic, whether it's sexual, whether it's whatever it is, right? You can't complain when the other person gives you back that same energy. Like, what are you complaining about? Like, you brought this to the table, X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. And another thing, man, I love Steve Harvey to death, but bro, Uncle Steve, it's a brand new game out here, man. These women, you know, they're not like the women that you used to date, or your ex wives, or your current wife, or whatever it is, bro. Was a lot of these women want a guy who makes $100,000, X, Y, and Z, badass credit, good clothes, and all that stuff, right? And granted, hey, you want what you want, that's cool. But do you make 100 grand a year? Is your credit, 750 or above, right? You know, do you have nice clothes and this and this and that? Or another thing too, when women say, "Oh yeah, well my man gotta make 6 figures, have a 6 pack, all that shit," right? When's the last time you was on a diet plan? When's the last time you was in the gym? When's the last time you actually sat there and weighed your food out, and was health conscious? When's the last time you didn't spend the weekend going out drinking? So ask yourself all these questions, man. Because it's like you can want all you want, but if you're not doing for yourself, then what are you wanting for? Like that's like me saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a bodybuilding show. I'm gonna do a bodybuilding show," but I don't get a consultation. I don't get the proper work done. I don't I don't jump on a diet plan, and I don't work out with intensity. 4 things. I can't expect to do a bodybuilding show at the best of my ability if I don't do those 4 things. It's the same thing, man. It's like a lot of people will sit there and be like, "Oh, I want this, I want that." Well, step outside your comfort zone. Like, stop complaining, stop bitching, stop moaning, and start doing what you want to do. Uh, I know a lot of people, man. They said they were going to do this or do that, and they end up not doing it. And it's mostly with guys leaving jobs. Um, I hate when people say, "Oh, I can't do this or do that because of my situation." Nah, it's not your situation, because there's people out there with worse situations than you getting shit done. You just don't want to do it because you're afraid of failure. So you can stay in the same spot, and while everybody else is progressing, you stand right there. You're not you're not progressing. You're not regressing. You're stagnant, and that's worse. That's the worst thing you can do. I'm the type of cat everybody loves to talk to. Everybody wants to come to for advice when it's about somebody else. But when it's about them, that's when I'm like, okay, yo, um, you said that you was going to do this or do that. Why haven't you done it yet, right? Or when they come with a bunch of excuses, I'm like, no, don't come with excuses. Just give me the raw. Just tell me why you didn't want to do it. I don't care about your excuses. I could care less. And my problem is that I am extremely sarcastic. I'm dry, sarcasm. But I'm also one of them dudes. If I got love for you, like genuine love, it's always gonna be there. You know, I may get frustrated with you. I may get upset with you, but I'm never gonna quit on you. I'm gonna just look at you, be like, yo, you doing what you doing is like not even remotely close to how good you are. You know, it's not remotely close to what you're capable of. So stop thinking about what could happen that's bad. It's just start doing it, because you don't know what type of stones you're gonna uncover. You don't know um what type of life you're gonna live. And I was talking to somebody that I know from my gym, and her son is a freshman in college, and he goes to the local university here, University of Hawaii, and she was saying, yeah, well, like we was talking about school, this and this and that. I said, oh, well, the one thing I wish I would have did, when I was younger, around his age, is I wish I would have went to now. I wish I would have went. I would have. Yeah, wish I would have went away for school. Because I think when I graduated, um, high school, I went to community college for a couple years, like two years, and then then after that, I applied for it was a University of Hawaii, um, a University of Hawaii, University of Oregon, USC, and I think the University of Miami. I got into the University of Hawaii and the University of Oregon, and I was dead set on on going. I just um, the catch was I had a scholarship to go to the UH, and so I went to UH because it was free. You know, they paid for everything. Whereas University of Oregon, I would have to come out of pocket and pay for housing too. And then when I graduated, a couple years later from UH, I had after graduation, I had moved to California, and I was gonna pursue a master's degree, and I ended up not completing the program because just things of that nature. But I did learn a lot about myself during that time up there in the mainland. I mean, of course, I was staying with family and whatnot, but I was out there moving and shaking on my own. I was out there making decisions. I was out there, just trying to make it do what it do, right? And I think I was in my late 20s. Yeah, I was in my late 20s, and it was fun, man. Some of the uh, most impressionable people I met, I still keep in contact with. There's this one guy that there's a couple people that I knew because where my aunt them lived, right down the street, it was a little like, I guess you could call it like a shopping center. They had I think they had a movie theater, they had a gym, they had a sports bar and everything, right? And so every Sunday we would get up and watch football. I was like, okay, like, okay, like let's roll because it was literally 5 minutes away from the house. I went, and that's how I ended up meeting these people. And it's different type of people from all different over the country. It's like the one thing we bonded over was football. And this one guy, God rest his soul, he's dead now. He died of I think he died of cancer or something. Uh, he would always say, and he was a really smart guy, just real, real worldly and everything too. He would always say, man, hey, value time. I'd be like, what? He's like, yeah, value time because time is the one thing you can't get back, man. Time is the one thing that people want to get back when they're sick, when they, or whatever it is, but you can't get it back. So value it, like never take it for granted and always realize that the people who walk into your life, they're there for a reason. Whether to teach you lessons, whether to give you lessons, or whether to show you that you deserve better. And I've always there's certain things that I'll never forget. That being one of them, the value time. Because when I came back home, a lot of people were still doing the same shit. You know, still wasting time, working dead end jobs. Not living in the not living up to their potential. Because I know a lot of cats who were smarter than me academically, who just were too afraid. You know, um, I know a lot of cats who probably would have been first generation college graduates and making some real serious bread, but they were just too afraid, man. Um, yeah, so I think at the end of the day, man, it's important to realize that everybody may not be in your life forever, or they may not hold the same space in your life forever. As I as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that okay, there's certain people that I gotta place here because I can't expect them to give me a fucking level 10 when they can only give 3. Yeah, I can't expect you to give me more than what you're capable of. It doesn't make you a bad person. You know, scratch that. It doesn't make you a bad person. Um, but it shows me that you can't place you, meaning your expectations, onto everybody else. Because some people, for as much as they talk, they're never gonna amount to anything, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. That's just the truth. Like some people will never amount to anything, you know. And like when people hear this, it's gonna be like, oh well, like this is what you said. Yeah, but that one little snippet, nah. Some people are just comfortable being mediocre, and that's fine. That just has no space in my life, you know. And I think a lot of people will sit there and make excuses. Oh, I didn't have the opportunities you had, or I didn't have this, I didn't have that. I was like, bro, there's plenty of people out there. And when I say bro, I mean male and female. There's plenty of people out there where the situations are worse than yours, extremely worse than yours, and they still made it happen. So what exactly is your excuse? You know, like, are you lazy? Are you not motivated? Are you comfortable? Do you not care? You know, and yeah, man, like that's what it is. You can't sit there and complain about the work, the results you didn't get with the work you didn't put in. And I wish a lot of people would, you know, would would recognize that. I would I would make the adjustments, appropriate adjustments, to be more successful. And, being successful doesn't mean having a flyest car in the driveway or having the freshest threads. Being successful could be paying your bills on time. You know, being successful to be is being able to buy what you need to buy or want to buy and not have to think about the price tag. Yeah, that's what success is to me, man. Is like as long as you can pay your bills on time, it's cool. Yeah. And I think a lot of people have different versions of success, and that's fine. Um, they're not you, and you're not them. And to wrap this up, man, I always think about my dad, especially when I get into situations like this, or conversations like this. I never really understood what he was trying to tell me all them years ago. You know, I always thought he was being a hard ass for like no reason. I always thought he was trying to jump on me for no reason. I'll be like, damn, man, here this motherfucker go again. You know, and of course I didn't swear at my dad because that nigga was like 5'10", 5'11", 270. He was built like a fucking house. You know, he beat my ass. Um, but yeah, man. I always thought he was always harping on things just because, but like I get it now because I'm older, and I don't have any kids of my own yet. But when I do, I'm not gonna be as hard as them as on them as he was with me. But at the same time, I am gonna show my babies like, hey man, you can do this or you can do that. But whatever you do, there's a consequences for either choice. You know, and um and getting back to my dad, man, it's always difficult, man, because it's like when he died, I wasn't ready, man. Like, oh, nobody's ready. You know what I mean, I was 23, I was lost. Um, I still haven't really figured out life at that point. And I didn't. I was struggling in every which way you could think of, and to top that off, I get dealt with that. You know, and that destroyed me for a little bit. But you know what? I picked the pieces up, glued myself back together, And I became the version that people know now, man. It's like, cause it's like, oh, people tell me like, oh, like, why you always so positive? I'm like, cause you gotta be, man. You gotta be positive. Because if you want good things to happen to you, it's gotta be right. Anyway, y'all, this is 20 minutes of your life that y'all won't get back. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Hope y'all keeping the full peace, proper player, positive pushing. I'll see y'all next week Sunday. Love y'all. Goals. And like I always say, know your worth. Peace.